The ball laid out into the flat on the right. There's no way for me to sit here and defend that.
Boom, he had 9 completed passes. You know how many times this series had single-digit completed passes?
But here's the thing. Here's how the Jets have hamstrung themselves. They brought in, Wonder Boy as the backup quarterback, and Wonder Boy is not your NFL quarterback. In order to commit to Tim Tebow, you have to commit an entire offense to him. And you got to get ready to lock and load, buckle your chin strap, and see a lot of 215-yard games.
Listen, I said this a few weeks ago. People don't want to remember it. I told you a few weeks ago, Mark Sanchez can no longer be the New York Jets starting quarterback. And I stand by that today. Do I know the guy? Yeah. Do I like him? Yeah. Can he quarterback? No.
Not right now he can. Not right now he can.
He needs to be somewhere else. Mark Sanchez can no longer be the New York Jets starting quarterback. He right now at this moment in time is the worst quarterback in the league. Now, there's a lot that goes into that. Nobody's ever open. Offensive line stinks. He completes a 30-yard pass. He comes off the field. There's a lot that goes into it. I'll give you that. But the way he's playing right now, and for a stretch now, Mark Sanchez should not be given the keys to my franchise.
All right, so I'm asking you this question then.
No.
What's the alternative?
Sadly, well, this is what I want it to be and what it is.
All right.
Greg McElroy should be the starting quarterback against the St. Louis Rams. I'm 3-6. I ain't got nothing to lose anyway. Now, I know that's not going to happen. So what's the reality?
Yeah.
At some point, they're going to have to, grab their little short hairs by the little boys that hang underneath them and go make Tim Tebow the starting quarterback. And it pains me to say that. But, I mean, this team, you said that, and I laughed and mocked you. Oh, they're going to win their last 5. They haven't won 2 in a row this year. So, mathematically, are they alive? Oh, I suppose so. The Rams only just tied the Niners, and if not for a delayed game penalty, beat him in overtime on a 53-yarder by your boy Legatron.
Right.
You want to talk about bad coaching?
Yes.
How do you not see the play clock running down? You got a freaking timeout. Use it, dummy.
All right, well, that's a whole other thing. That's a whole nother situation.
Now we're all going to play the game this week. The Rams going to have a natural letdown. Going from a divisional game, they tied Frisco. Here come the Jets. The Jets suck. And I guarantee you right now, everyone's going to load up on the Rams when the play is going to be the Jets with the number, whatever it is. But the New York Jets suck. I mean, brutal. They are brutal.
And that
they don't have a quarterback.
Greggy, I told you last week that you were going to come in here Monday and you were going to act like you're acting, because in that building, I thought the Jet defense actually kept them in the game. I said it at halftime.
I tried to quarter.
I sometimes I forget that I'm talking to a national audience on the NFL Today, and I felt like I was just overly Jet-esque, but it's obvious that a lot of teams go in there and they struggle offensively. Even the Green Bay Packers, the great Aaron Rodgers, went in there and struggled offensively. But we knew that was going to be the case.
Yes.
We knew it.
Yes, we did.
I just think that there's no alternative.
I tell you what's worse.
Yes.
The Jets lived up to expectation yesterday. We all picked against them. We all thought they'd get blown out. They lived up to every expectation we had. The real problem here is the New York Giants. The Giants, again, it's one thing you lose to a really good Pittsburgh Steelers team, even though it was here and, it's Roethlisberger, and you had the storm play role there. I mean, you can make every excuse in the book, right?
Right.
But when you go to Cincinnati, having lost 4 in a row, now, even though I told you on Friday, my opinion was that, the Bengals would give them all they wanted.
Right.
Because, you lose 4 in a row, you got some pride, you're at home.
Yep.
And it's essentially your season as well, and you do throw the ball well. They did throw the ball well against secondary that's not been great this year. But for the New York Giant offense, we can mock the Giant defense all we want. We can talk about how everybody can throw the ball against the Giant defense and how Corey Webster's the most overrated starting cornerback in the league. We can all go through that. But for the New York Giant offense, and I got to tell you, this to me is worse than everything the Jets do, because the Jets stink. We know they stink. How does Eli Manning, Victor Cruz, Hakeem Nicks, Ahmad Bradshaw, Martellus Bennett, right?
Right.
How does that offense not produce a single passing touchdown in 3 games? If I told you that at any point this year, they would go 3 consecutive games without a passing touchdown, you'd be like, Craig, put down the bond pipe, because there's no way that's going to happen.
Right.
And that's exactly where they are.
Last year, on this weekend, last season, on this particular weekend, The New York Giants lost the first of 4 in a row, and that was to the San Francisco 49ers, 27-20. It was a great game. It was out in San Francisco.
Yeah.
After that, they lost at home 17-10 to Philadelphia in an ugly game.
Right.
Then they went down to New Orleans and got blown
Remember
out.
that game got blown out.
49-24. That actually final score was a hell of a lot closer.
Yeah, I remember.
All right, and they fell to right in the middle of that after that.
Then they had
Saints
a really
game.
good game against the Packers, but they lost in the last
when you
drive.
say good game, good offensive game.
Well, they
not
lost
good
in the last
defensive
drive of that game.
Yeah, they gave up 38 points.
Right, I mean, it was an entertaining game. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, but they were actually 6-2 last year.
Right.
6-3, 6-4, 6-5, 6-6.
That's right.
It's like it's happening all over again.
7-7, and then we know the rest of that story.
Right.
Listen, we got lots of football. We got it all day long for you, baby. 877-337-6666. We got your top 5 at 8, and we got your gas-faced goat horns. And you get to give them out for both teams throughout the morning today. Who do you most blame for the 2 debacles that took place yesterday afternoon? It's B and C on the Fan, and we're just getting underway. So why don't you be a part of the party and join us right now?
Right, and happy Veterans Day, by the way. How about that?
Well, it was yesterday.
Yeah, but today everybody gets a day off, right?
No. Is today a company holiday or no?
No, sir.
No,
not a company holiday.
I mean, if you have a veteran in your life, you should be able to enjoy that person.
Right.
Take the day off.
Exactly.
That's right.
All right, 6:17 on the Fan. It's the smell of charcoal, hamburgers, bratwurst, and steak. Open tailgates filled with potato salad, chicken wings, chips and dips, and a cooler filled with all those tasty beverages.